show it's the podcasting beer. You could have done that into the mic. It wouldn't have been the first nor the last. Normally, we don't introduce ourselves, but this is Jay, and Matt is out this week, and I have a special guest host.
Oh, am I supposed to introduce myself?
Yes, you're supposed to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Madelyn.
So, yes, Madelyn is stepping in for Matt.
Yeah, I'm his favorite daughter. Favorite child.
Or the only one that's here right now. Or the only one that would do a podcast with me.
Will would do it.
Yeah, he probably would.
But I'm just your favorite.
Yeah. I can't confirm nor deny.
That wasn't a no.
Wasn't a yes either.
So you're saying there's a chance?
All right, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I mean, I am pretty dumb.
So, we always start off with what we're drinking. And I have a Melvin Brewing and Narrow Gauge collaboration called Southern Stratasphere IPA. 6% IPV, or APV. It's pretty good. Riwaka, Strata, and Citra Hots. I've had this before. It's really good. You going to tell them what you're drinking?
I'm drinking root beer. What do you...
You going to say anything about it?
I mean, it's Freddy's old-fashioned root beer. It's not as, different than, with beer, you have all the different categories. Root beer is just a category of, soda.
I just thought it'd be fun for you to talk about it. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
I picked that one up when I drove across Illinois the other day. I found that at a liquor store when I was picking up beer and whiskey.
Of course you did.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, so Madelyn's on this week, so we can talk about The Flash. We saw it Father's Day?
Yes.
Yeah, so Sunday. What were your general thoughts on the movie? Or what were your thoughts going into the movie? Let's start with that.
I thought it was going to be, the best movie they made. It's been hyped up so much. All the trailers show, the best parts. And I honestly didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was. Because I had high hopes for it.
Yeah. And like everybody, there were issues with Ezra Miller still being the Flash.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with that per se. I mean, when I watch a movie, I don't think about the actor or actress. To me, it's just they are the character. And for movies, for me, it's less about the politics. You can deal with the politics outside of the movie. But I'm not going to, get angry with a movie or not watch a movie because a certain actor or actress is in there.
Yeah. So I was kind of the same way. I wish they would have been able to recast him and redo the movie, but it was just not going to be possible. They spent a lot of this movie to begin with, and then try to replace him after the movie was completed would be impossible.
Well, I have no idea if this is an unpopular opinion, but Ezra Miller doesn't look like a Flash. He doesn't seem like he would be a Flash.
I think coming in, based off what we'd seen of him, I thought he did the awkwardness of very, very well. I wasn't crazy about anything else with him.
No, so I have an expectation for the Flash, seeing him. Probably because of the Grant Gustin Flash.
Which played him almost perfectly.
Yeah.
If anything, Ezra Miller got the awkwardness down a little bit more for a young Barry Allen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Grant Gustin is a much better
Yeah,
Flash.
and we were talking about that not too long ago. And in the first season, he was more awkward, but as we went through, he gained more confidence and became less awkward. So I don't know if that's the same type of thing with the Flash, the actual movie, because you kind of could tell there was a bit more awkwardness in the younger one rather than the older one.
Yeah, a lot more immaturity.
Yeah.
So it didn't live up to the hype. Did you think it was a bad movie?
I don't really think most movies are bad movies. You have pretty high standards compared to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talk about a movie and you're like, oh, that wasn't really good. It was kind of bad. And I still tend to like it. But this one, I mean, is not going to be one I watch again. I guess it was worth watching. I just wasn't a huge fan of it.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. I walked out, I really liked it. The more I've sat on it, the more I've been able to nitpick it. It's not the best movie of the year. It was an enjoyable movie. There's a lot of good things to pull from it, but there was also issues with it as well.
Especially the running. Got to point that out very early.
Yes. The way they do his running is just awful. Because he looks awkward as a runner. His legs kick out to the side, and his arms are very stiff. And then it really drove me nuts that every time he started the run, he would get in a pose and then run.
No runner actually does that. You pretty much just start out walking unless you're like a sprinter.
Yeah, track
doing
runner.
Track, but you don't start out the way he did.
Yeah. All right, so let's go through the movie. Right off the bat, he is trying to get a sandwich in the morning before he goes into work, which he's already late for, and he gets a call from Alfred to come help Batman. I thought that was okay. The stuff with the waiter was a little weird. I didn't necessarily need it. It was fun seeing the kids recognize him and him stopping for the selfie with them. But then he did the awkward pose and took off running. I thought all this stuff at the hospital where he was supposed to save everyone while Batman tracked down the guys that committed the crime was pretty good. Maybe not the best effects.
I found it
but
stupid.
I was stuck. I was sucked into the action that was going on with him.
I guess for me, what I found stupid was the fact that he can't move anybody without making them throw up,
which we see later on in the movie.
Yeah, because I don't ever think that was the case.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of changing it a bit, and I understand you gotta change it for the movies and stuff to make things different. But I think this aspect of it, it's going to if the world if the DC wasn't restarting, then it would have costed them, I guess, because then they lost opportunities.
Yeah. So what she's referring to is all these babies were falling out of a hospital window, and he wasn't catching them. He was kind of directing them to where he needed to go so he could save them on a gurney. You would have thought, so I guess we've been spoiled with the X-Men movies. The one good thing we can say about the X-Men movies is they got speed down with Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Those are probably the pinnacle of speed scenes that we've seen in movies, because that Quicksilver was better than the MCU Quicksilver.
Yeah.
And I think he was better than the Flash too, the way they filmed it.
Which Flash?
The movie. I'm doing movie to movie.
Okay, well, I just gotta make sure you're not talking about Grant Gustin like that.
Oh, I would not dare soil his name in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little weird how he wouldn't catch them or anyone. He would just kind of push them. So to put it in perspective, in the X-Men movies, Quicksilver would move bullets or objects so they would hit the person that he was trying to stop. In this, Barry was doing that with the people. He was touching the people so they would start moving the direction.
Yeah, which kind of objectifies them.
Yeah. I never really thought of that. But so he saves the people at the hospital. He gets in a running race with the car chase that Batman's going through. I don't remember much of the details of that, though.
I don't really either. I think the Batman stuff was really cool, though.
Yes. And it was higher quality Ben Affleck Batman than it was in the Justice Leagues. It was more in line with Batman v Superman, I think.
I don't really remember Batman v Superman. I don't think we ever went back and finished it.
We watched it initially. I know Will's gone back to rewatch it, but it's kind of hard to sit through that again because it wasn't great. Maybe if we watched the director's cut, which is out, maybe it would be better. I also got to point out, just for fact, you like the Justice League better than Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I do. Okay, but if they're going to put out the director's cut, it better not be 4 hours this time.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's a little bit longer, but that was already a long movie to begin with on Batman.
It's a little bit longer than 4 hours?
No, it was longer than the theatrical cut.
I'm aware.
So, but it did end with Wonder Woman showing up. Gal Gadot, probably in her last appearance, unless she shows up in Aquaman.
No. Okay, she's the perfect portrayal as Wonder Woman, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think James Gunn is going to try to distance himself from everything that's been done.
I know, but now it's just going to be hard to see someone else as Wonder Woman. I know they got to change it so that it doesn't get mixed.
Yeah, because she wasn't the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I know. But I guess it's just a disappointment that she's not Wonder Woman anymore.
Kind of like Henry Cavill not being Superman anymore, too.
Yeah.
Because he did really well in those roles.
Yeah.
For what he had.
Yeah.
Man of Steel is good. I will die on that hill.
I probably need to rewatch it because I don't know how long ago we watched it. It was before we even moved to this house. So, before I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I'm going in high school now, so.
If only it was on a streaming network.
If only.
Actually, we have the Blu-ray too.
Okay, well, I'm almost done with Grey's Anatomy, so
Okay.
I'll get to it at some point.
All right, so we get to, gosh, I can't even remember a lot of the details of the movie because the really good stuff was really good, and then just the okay stuff was just filler. He goes back, he gets a sandwich. So it took the whole time that battle went on, his sandwich is being made.
Yeah, I brought that to your attention.
Yes.
Don't be stealing my credit or anything.
Of course not.
No, that's not okay. I do remember some of the stuff.
So he goes into work.
Yeah.
Though, and he's late. You get to see their version of Captain Singh.
Yeah.
He works with some jackwagons that are not the greatest characters, like for him to consider coworkers. He runs into Iris. They talk about his dad's trial.
I have a question about the comics.
Okay.
Did Iris and Barry live together in the comics? Because in the movie, it's different from like the actual TV show. In the TV show, they grew up together, and then in the movie, they went to college together. So I'm wondering about the comics.
I don't think it was either one, truthfully. I know he did not grow up with her that way. I don't know about the comics. I've only read comics here and there, and then the stuff that started in the last few months.
Yeah.
I want to go back because there's actually some really good runs from the 90s that we all in this house should probably check out.
Well, you want to read everything, and I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to die before you can do that.
I know, but I will try my best.
You're already so old. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, we're not talking about how old I am. We're talking about Flash.
Oh, true. Guess we got to go back to that.
Yeah. So there are some interesting scenes where he's with Iris, where she shows up at his apartment. Because initially when they talk, she's coming off more as reporter Iris instead of Iris that knew him from college.
Yeah, like a friend Iris.
Yeah. So she shows up. He phases through the wall to get a beer for her, which was kind of funny. But at the same time, that was the first part that pulled me out because of Ezra Miller, because he broke into someone's house and held them, I don't want to say hostage, but he kept them there for a while. That's some of the stuff he's been accused of. So seeing that stuff in the movie, him phasing through the wall and going into other people's place, multiple times in the movie, really bothered me. This one wasn't as bad as the one that comes up later on.
Well, I guess for me, it's the fact that I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know
Yeah.
about what he was being accused. I know he's being accused of stuff. I didn't know what he was being accused of. So I guess that kind of just helped with me focusing in on the movie and focusing in on Barry rather than Ezra.
Yeah, and to be PC, he doesn't identify as he. He's a they.
Oh, okay.
So he gets a call and leaves Iris, and I don't remember why.
He didn't get a phone call. She basically was saying something, and it gave him an idea about traveling back in time.
Yes, that's right.
That's why he ran out. Also, I'd like to... We skipped over something, and I'm not going to lie, it's kind of funny. The fact that he ran in and picked everything up, I feel like that... I don't know if that's Barry, per se, but once again, I didn't read too much of the comics.
Yeah.
But I found that part really funny.
I could see that. He sped in the house, cleaned it up, and he opened the door for her. And then they come in, and like the closet door opens up, and a bunch of stuff falls down.
Okay. But here's something I just thought of. He has the super speed, so as soon as it started falling, why didn't he go and like put it back up and then come back and act like nothing happened?
I think by the time what he realized that was happening, it was too late.
Okay, fair. He gets past this time.
Yeah. So at that point, he goes to Batman, I think, to talk to Batman about he can go back and fix things, and Batman tells him the tragedy makes them who they are.
No, that was before, because...
Oh, that's when she walked up. He was talking to... Yeah. Okay.
Because then she was the one that gave him the idea.
So I don't really remember the reason. She gave him the idea to go back in time, but I don't remember why he left. But eventually he does go back in time.
No, he left because... Okay. So Bruce, he was talking with Bruce, and like they were discussing why he couldn't go back in time.
Yeah.
Then when Iris came over, she basically gave him the idea that he could go back in time and save his mom without causing the stuff that Batman said was going to happen.
Yeah.
Or Bruce said was going to happen. So that's why he ran out, because then he figured out that he still could run back in time and save his mom without causing what Bruce said was going to happen.
Yeah. And at this point, I don't even remember how he saved his mom.
He went back and saw it was the can of tomatoes. His dad had to go out for the can of tomatoes.
That's right. So he went back before she was murdered and put the can in her
cart.
Her cart, so his dad didn't leave.
Because the person who came and killed his mom saw that his dad left.
Yeah.
Which they explained in the movie.
Which in the sequel would have been Reverse Flash.
If they were going to do a sequel.
We'll get to that. So yeah, he goes in, he pretty much saves her, and when he comes back to current time, his mom's there. They point out...
Oh, no, he didn't go back to current time.
Well, he thought it was current time.
When he first stepped out, he did.
Yeah.
But he soon realized it wasn't.
No, he didn't realize until he saw his younger self.
Well, but I just need to say these things because he didn't go back in time.
He didn't go back to the same point.
Yes.
Yeah. He got pushed out of the Speed Force.
Yes.
By somebody.
Straight.
It's all coming back to me. There's parts of it I didn't remember.
Sure. Whatever.
All right. So he gets back with his parents. He looks down the front yard, and there's his younger self. He ends up getting him upstairs, explaining what's going on. That was fun. There was, I think it was only a few years difference between the two of them, though.
I'm not sure if they said what it was, but I don't think it was too far different.
So...
Well, actually, wait. So the night he showed up was the night that he got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how long he was Flash for.
Yeah. I'm going to try to look it up while we're talking. But, okay, so when he discovers that it's that day, he takes Barry to the forensics lab where Barry doesn't work because he's in college instead of not having a mother, having a father in jail, and having to start working earlier. So he takes him. He sets him up to get struck, but he's in between Barry and the lightning. So the lightning goes through him and takes his powers away, which was a great twist.
It would have been even better if it went through him and his powers went with the lightning, and then Barry 2.0 is what I'm going to call him because he's younger. And then he was like faster than the normal Flash.
That would have been interesting, but I like the way they did it.
Yeah, I do too. I just thought that would be something that would be cool too.
Because it would have been boring later on in the movie if they both have powers and they're like when they're rescuing Supergirl.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So basically Barry discovers he loses his powers while young Barry gets the powers.
Barry 1.0 or Barry 1.
I probably won't call him Barry 1 or Barry 2. I'll say young Barry and old Barry.
Wow. I'm trying to make this easier for you. Old people and working hard.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah.
So the other thing they discover is this is right when Zod attacked in Man of Steel. Because that's when he starts looking into everybody and they meet his roommates who happen to be the people that Barry worked with on his Earth.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That makes...
Not the guy asleep on the couch, but the other two.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. He starts looking up. He calls Arthur Curry's dad, and there's no Arthur Curry.
There is an Arthur Curry.
No.
It's a dog.
Oh, okay, yeah. He named the dog Arthur since he didn't have Arthur with a mermaid.
Yeah. But dogs are essential too. You can't look over the dogs.
I'm sorry, I looked over the dog.
Wow.
He discovered Victor Stone was still playing football at college. He was never in an accident. There was no report of Superman, but there was a Batman. And so they go to Wayne Manor, and that's probably the highlight of the movie is we get Michael Keaton as Batman.
No,
but it was not.
Wasn't.
That's not what I was expecting when we got to him.
What were you expecting?
I wasn't expecting a long-haired guy that had ended crime in Gotham. But the best part was they walk in the armor room where Vicky Vale and Knox were during the party talking about what an eccentric guy Bruce Wayne was. All those old suits of armor. And then they go into the dining room with the long table that him and Vicky Vale ate at. And then they go into the exact same kitchen where him and Vicky moved in to eat with Alfred later in the meal.
I kind of forgot they had the big table. Like, they went past the dining room.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't think about that until you brought it up. Like, when I looked at it, since it's been a while since I've seen Batman, I didn't think of it as, like, a different Batman.
Everything looked exactly the same from 89.
Yeah, like, now that you bring it up, I do, like, think that. Like, I kind of remember now. But you had to bring it up first.
Well, yeah, because I'm good like that.
No, because I have a young person's brain.
No. So, they're in the kitchen. The two Barrys are in the kitchen, and they get jumped by an old man with long hair, and it's Bruce Wayne. And it was a lot of fun, that whole scene. And they're like, and old Barry being like, "Who are you?" "I'm Bruce Wayne." "No, you're not." So this goes back to an issue I have with Marvel. You have multiple Peter Parkers, but the same Doctor Strange in every universe. You have the same Barry Allens, but different Bruce Waynes.
So are you saying that Flash and Batman are arch nemesis?
No,
because
no.
That's what I hear you saying here.
No, because
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Doctor Strange goes to different multiverses, and they recognize him as Strange.
Yeah.
But when the three Peters come together, they look nothing alike.
Okay.
And this is the same where...
Yeah. Okay, I get you now.
Both the Flashes are the same actor.
I thought you said Doc Ock, not Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, but they eventually... They stop fighting. He explains everything.
Spaghetti.
Yes, that was great. Explaining the timeline with spaghetti. Rather than having one set timeline and branches coming off it, it's just a bunch of noodles thrown together. All these different timeline, all these different versions of the same Earth intersecting.
Well, they should be meatballs based off the end of the movie or near the end.
Yeah. We'll get to that. So, Bruce Wayne isn't going to help him. So old Barry takes young Barry into the Batcave. And when he pulls off the cover of the Batmobile, and it's that Batmobile, I was just a little kid again. You'll understand in like 30 more years.
So when I'm old.
So when Ezra Miller comes back to play old Flash, no, that's not a good comparison.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Grant Gustin comes back to play old Flash.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Or Stephen Amell comes back to play old Arrow.
Well, he is coming. Well, actually, no, he's dead.
He did come back already, though. Flash is done. TV show.
Oh, I need to go and finish that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, he was in the last season? I thought he was dead.
He showed up somehow, so I don't know if it's a flashback or what. But Stephen Amell confirmed that he was in an episode.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So Barry starts looking through, trying to find out about Superman. Batman eventually says he's going to join him. That it's in Russia.
Yeah.
That they think where Superman's at.
Yeah.
So little red sun there.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
So we see the Batwing drop onto the Batcave, which was cool too. Even though it was not the exact same version. It was a little different.
It was cool.
Yeah. And so he flies both the Flashes to Russia to rescue who they think is Superman, but ends up being Supergirl. Which it's a lot of fun because young Barry doesn't know how to use his powers, and old Barry doesn't have his powers, so he's helpless.
Yeah. At least he wasn't shot in the leg, though.
Yeah. So I think that was to let Batman shine, Batman and Supergirl.
Yeah, probably.
Because when they get to where they find the alien, it's actually Supergirl. You see the costume laying on the ground, but Batman was going to leave her.
What do you expect? That's Batman for you.
To a degree, but it's also old grizzled Batman that wants to make it out of there. He hasn't come to full redemption yet, I think.
He's probably not going to now.
Well, we'll get to that. So Barry, of course, is like, let's get her in the sun. She gets up in the sun. She gets her powers back. They take her out back to Wayne Manor where she recuperates, but then she refuses to help.
Yeah.
She's like, humans have kept me captive the whole time I've been here. Yeah. Why should I help? Barry wants to find a way to get old Barry wants to to get his powers back.
Okay, I don't know how this is a podcast. You're just retelling the movie?
Pretty much, but we're discussing it as we're talking about it. This is more in depth than Matt and I would get in the movie.
Okay, you might as well just play the audio tape instead. It's more exciting than your like, and then this happened, and then this happened, in your deep voice.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Madelyn, because this is the last time I'm having her on.
But I make the best ones.
Do you? Do you really? All right.
With my sarcasm, yes, I do.
So let's. Well, all right, we'll go through the rest of it real quick. Okay. Basically, Supergirl helps them get Old Barry's powers back. They fight Zod, but they lose. And so both the Barrys go back in time. They try it again. They lose again.
Oh, when we say they lose, we need to point out that Bruce was killed, and so was Kara.
Which blew my mind, because I'm in the moment, and you see Michael Keaton die. And I'm like, no! And then they're like, well, let's go back and try it again.
Yeah. And
I'm like, all right, maybe it's better. No, it's not better. They kill him again. But Old Barry realizes, look, there's nothing we can do in this.
Yeah.
This Earth's done for. So they go into the Speed Force again, which shows us a bunch of different Earths. They're all starting to collide because they're playing with the timeline too much. And this is like...
Well, I feel it was more of young Barry playing with the timeline.
Yes.
Because Old Barry tries to get young Barry to stop.
Yeah, and young Barry keeps going through and trying and trying and trying. I think a little bit because he's in love with Kara.
I felt like you could kind of see that, but Kara was obviously in love with the older one.
Yeah.
But it's also probably the fact that he just got his powers.
Yeah.
Like, this is his first battle he's fought, but older Barry's been fighting for a while, so he has the knowledge of when you have to give up.
Yeah.
And, like, when you can't do it anymore.
Well, he's also altered the timeline and seen...
Yeah.
It makes things worse.
Because
where young Barry
has
hasn't...
more experience with it.
And young Barry hasn't been through that yet, so... But then they show a bunch of different timelines all converging.
It was so cool.
It was. They were each a different color planet.
I don't even feel like those were, like, planets.
No,
like,
but they were...
they were circular shaped, but then, like, you saw the rows in it, and then, like, the way that they had all the characters standing on it, it was so cool. But I don't classify that as a planet. They
were spheres with different... that touch, like, were combining together. So I saw them as different planets, like in the comic, in the Crisis, when, like, all the different Earths started converging together. But then we got all these different characters. So we got the George Reeves TV show Superman you've known nothing about. I think I know which one it was. That was the very first one. Yeah. Like, I knew who it was. I've seen him before, but, like, I haven't seen the show. Yeah. This was, like... black and white TV. Yeah. And then we got the Christopher Reeves one with Helen Slater's Supergirl, which I pointed out to you that Supergirl is Kara's mom on the TV show. Eliza? I don't remember if that was her name. I think that's her name. Eliza Danvers? Eliza Danvers? I think so. It sounds about right. I'm not going to say these in order, but Adam West Batman 66. Yeah. That was awesome to see. Advertisement. Okay. So, yeah, Christopher Reeves and Helen Slater. Advertisement Planet. Yeah. I missed that one. This was my favorite. The Nicolas Cage Superman. The long-haired Superman where he fought the Spider from the Kevin Smith script that Jonathan Peters wanted the Spider in. And that didn't mean as much to you or your brother. No, it didn't. But I got... huge I love that. Yeah. I want to hear Kevin Smith talk on it because... You want to hear him talk about everything, so... Well, I do, but... But yeah, no, I understand what you are talking about here. Yeah. There was a Jay Garrick Flash. It was not the guy, though, from the TV show. No, but it's the same, like, outfit. Yes. Or costume. Yeah, so which was the original Flash. Yeah, that's how I knew in the comics. There was Jeremy Irons, Alfred. Oh, no, that was not in... They're just talking about cameos now. I guess those are the only ones they really showed when the multiverses were converging. Yeah, they should have shown more. They should have. So cool. I think they tried to get Grant Gustin, but because of the filming of the last season, he couldn't. Honestly, I appreciate that they didn't. They've already been together, so... I'm saying this again. They're separate for me. They need to stay separate. They've ruined the movies for me. Yeah. They cannot ruin the show, too. No. When they realize what's going on, both the Barrys stop, but someone else shows up. And it's young Barry that's been stuck in the Speed Force trying to fix everything. And he's just become almost a monster from all the abuse he's taken trying to save it all.
Yeah.
Because the young Barry gets stabbed in the arm, and every time he comes back, he's a little more battle damaged. Mm-hmm. This older version of young Barry is the one that pushed our Barry, old Barry, out of the Speed Force into that specific time to get the young Barry powers.
Imagine how confusing it would be if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
It's thinking about, like, the old version of young Barry. Like, I know what you mean, but, like, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, trying to explain this to somebody that hasn't seen it would be very confusing. Anytime you talk about multiverse and timelines, it gets confusing.
At that point, I'm willing to just give them money and they go see the movie themselves.
Yeah.
Or maybe I would go with them. Actually, no, it wasn't that good.
I would probably go with them, too, just to see if I can pick up things on the second time.
Fair.
Basically, they discover you can't mess with the timeline. Young Barry jumps in front of old young Barry and gets killed. So Barry can go back in time and go back and fix his timeline. So he gets to go back to when he put the can in the cart at the beginning of the movie, pull it out, talk to his mom.
Well, actually, talk to his mom first.
Maybe.
Your facts straight.
Yeah, whatever. It's a minute detail at this point.
I know.
So it was a very good moment of him and his mom talking and him hugging her, and it was weird, but at the same time it worked.
Also, I feel the need to point out that Bruce ended up dying. Like, they never saved him.
Yeah.
And same with Kara.
Yeah.
Even though they did go back and, like, erase that version. But, like, that's what I was meaning earlier by the fact that he can't go back and redeem himself.
You get a scene where Barry goes to Tomatoes to put it back, looks at the camera, which earlier in the movie, when he was trying to prove his dad innocent, his dad didn't look up at the camera, so they couldn't. He was stuck in jail, and that's part of the reason why he changed everything. So Barry goes back to the timeline, and in this version, his dad looks up at the camera, and he's acquitted.
Okay, but everything else seems normal.
Yeah, everything else seems normal.
Except for the fact that he called Bruce, and then...
After his dad's acquitted,
yeah.
he's walking out.
So then we actually get to see Bruce, and I know you said that you were kind of expecting this, but we didn't get the same Bruce walking out of the car.
We did not get Ben Affleck. We got George Clooney.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good twist, though.
It was. I wasn't expecting it either. We find out that Barry moved all the tomatoes his dad was supposed to get up to the top shelf, so he looked up at him, and you could see his face on the camera.
Yes.
So he still changed the timeline. Again, after supposedly learning that he can't change the timeline, he did still.
I guess he just thought it was something that was less, like...
impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a fun cameo, too. You haven't seen Batman and Robin. I'm going to make you watch it now.
Okay.
Because of this. It's bad. It's really bad.
You told me that.
George Clooney said he apologized to fans because he killed the Batman franchise.
So you were very happy that he got his redemption.
I didn't really care too much about his redemption.
True. But, like...
Yeah.
A Batman fan would.
Yeah. So then we have a post-credit scene with Aquaman being drunk, Barry trying to explain everything to him. I felt like it was pointless.
It was, but it was kind of funny.
It was. I could just see Jason Momoa really being that way.
Yeah. I don't really feel like it's something that Arthur would do. But it was funny seeing.
Well, this version of Arthur's a lot different than the traditional version of him, too. So
okay, true.
He's Aqua Bro, not Aquaman.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good things. All the Michael Keaton stuff was awesome.
I am Batman.
Yeah.
Was my favorite part.
You want to get crazy? Let's get crazy. All his stuff was good. There was some good stuff with the Flash. But when young Flash gets his powers, he takes off running and all of his clothes burn off. And I'm kind of cringing at that because that's like Ezra Miller level cringe. And then the next scene where old Barry tells him he can phase through things, and he goes down into the neighbor's house, and the neighbor starts screaming at him, and he comes back up naked because his clothes all...
I find that pointless. That's not something that we needed.
No, it wasn't, especially with the issues that Ezra Miller had. That, again, breaking into somebody's house, that scene could have been done without... I know they were going for comedic effect. No.
They could have, like, had him accidentally drop through it, and, like, with clothes.
Or no one's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that really bothered me. So the movie is not making as much as they were hoping.
Wow, I'm so surprised if you couldn't tell from my voice. No, I mean, when the first people go and see the movie, they post what they think about it. And right now in this world, if someone doesn't like something, it doesn't become popular. And when things don't become popular, most people don't go and watch it.
So one of the big criticisms for Shazam 2's box office was Warner Brother had already announced that James Gunn was taking over. They're wiping everything clean. So people didn't care because it's not going to tie into what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think there's a bit of that to this. I think there's a bit of...
The fact that it's Ezra Miller.
Yes.
People not being happy about that.
Yes. But then I think movies in general just aren't making what they used to pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I think people should see this movie in the theater. It's a theater quality movie.
I mean, I get why people wouldn't want to go and see it in the theater, though. It's nice to just be able to lay on your couch and watch with your puppies and be able to eat and drink whatever you feel like, whenever you feel like, and being able to pause the movie when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But I also understand wanting to go to the theater because not everybody has the surround sound.
Yeah.
So, like, you go there and you get the good surround sound. You get the nice, big, like, screen. So, I mean, I get both sides, but I guess it still affects it.
Movies have always been a thing for me to go to, and especially for big action movies.
Yeah.
I really feel like Top Gun wouldn't have been the same movie if we didn't go to the theater.
Well, no.
So, this is one of those movies. It didn't have, like, the Batmobile rumble like the Batman did, but there was a lot of good action that on the big screen with the surround sound was worth it.
Part of me is wishing they would do a 3D version. I feel like that would be something that would be fun to watch. Because it would be, like, funny to, like, or kind of cool to see him, like, running towards you, kind of like 3D.
Yeah. 3D in the theater isn't as good as you're hoping, though.
I know.
It was cool for Avatar back in the day. Probably would have been cool to see the new Avatar in 3D as well.
Yeah, probably.
But it just hasn't transitioned this as well for... I think your mom and I saw some of the early MCU movies in 3D, and they just weren't worth it.
I would just want to see it for the running, though. Like, I don't care about the rest of the movie being in 3D. I just think it would be cool to, like, see someone running at you.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's a sideways shot of him running, you're going to think his arm or his leg is going to stick onto the screen and get you.
Yeah, so I guess as long as he's just running, like, forwards, like, from the front, then it would be cool.
Yeah. One of the cool things I did enjoy about the running, though, was when they went into the timeline. When he was going backwards in time, he was running backwards.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting twist on time travel. Rather than him running back to where he wanted to, he was literally running back.
Backwards.
Yeah. So back to the box office. This is probably going to kill future plans because they had already said that if this made close to what the Batman was making, they would do a sequel.
It's time to scrap it.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing they talked about in Michael Keaton Batman Beyond movie, if it would have made money, where he would be a mentor to a young Batman in the future.
Never mind. They can have that. I'm good to watch that. Then they can scrap it.
I could see James Gunn. James Gunn is kind of picking and choosing what he's going to keep. His Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are still part of it.
Unless they don't have any ties. Do they have any ties into the rest of the movies?
It's going to tie into his Suicide Squad movie and his Peacemaker show.
No, I mean, like, do those have ties into the current movies we have now?
You had the same Flag and you had the same Harley.
Harley Quinn deserves to go. She deserves to stay.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did really... I liked her as Harley a lot.
You can get rid of everybody else, but like you can get rid of Gal Gadot.
Flag died, so we don't have to worry about that.
But we have to keep Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like no one else can do the role.
Other people can do the role. That's going to be the problem because people say nobody else can do Iron Man like Robert Downey Jr.
Someone could have.
I agree. And someone else could do Harley Quinn at some point.
I have to disagree with that. Maybe at some point, but right now,
Harley
Quinn is like an iconic character. And I feel like it's necessary for her to be one that they show right now, especially with her LGBTQ ties.
No, I agree the character is, but you can't limit it to the one actress.
No, okay, not permanently, but like I feel like they need to move her over because getting her right is a big part of like who she is, and the Margot Robbie like
version.
Yeah, I feel like she is Harley. Like she has portrayed Harley right, and for now, I feel like they should stick with her. And of course, at some point, it's time to let go. But I don't think we're ready to yet.
Yeah, but at the same point, there could be somebody out there you don't know of yet that could play her as well or better.
But what they should do is they should have someone who's like interested in it and that they think could work, come in and observe, kind of get the feel for it. Because the other ones can be, there's a bunch of comic stuff for it.
Yeah.
The other ones are general characters. Batman, you have all these different comic books, all these different movies. But then Harley, you got a few comics. Like she's relatively new.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I feel like there's less to work with, and the fact that we already got a good Harley, I feel like we should keep her.
I'm all for keeping her too. I just don't want them to limit themselves.
No, I don't want them to either.
Yeah.
Like, just to start, we can transition into someone else.
Yeah.
Like they did in the MCU.
I will tell you what, I trust James Gunn.
I think I did too. With the Guardians movies, I think I'll have a hard time not trusting him.
Yeah.
The way he, like, finished it all too.
Yeah. And he's doing our Superman movie. He's announced that Andy Muschietti, the guy that directed The Flash, is doing The Brave and the Bold, the Batman movie. And it's going to be Batman and Damian.
I don't know how I feel about that. Not the Batman, but the...
Muschietti doing it?
Yeah. I guess it's just the fact that I have problems with this movie. And I don't know if it's the director or just everything in general. I just hope it's better than this one was.
I'm hopeful it will be. The other thing they've announced so far for the new James Gunn universe is James Mangold, who did Logan and he did the newest Indiana Jones movie coming out, is directing the Swamp Thing movie.
Swamp Thing.
Do you know anything about Swamp Thing?
I know it showed up in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. They did it. They did a season of a TV show that did pretty well. I never watched it, though.
Clearly, I didn't either.
Yeah. Well, I guess technically they did 2 TV shows, because one was when I was younger.
So I definitely didn't watch that one either.
No. Just like you didn't watch The Flash from when I was younger.
Yeah, I forgot that even existed.
Yeah. Barry's dad in your TV show, your TV Flash.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, who also played one of the Flashes from one of the other Earths. Yeah,
Jay Garrick? At one point.
Was it Jay? Because I thought Jay was played by somebody else who ended up being Zoom.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
He was a real Jay Garrick.
Okay. So, yeah, that was the Flash in the, 1992 version. They did very good in the Arrowverse of bringing back former characters to play.
World 2, I believe.
Yeah, Earth 2.
Earth 2. Same difference.
You know what they didn't bring back? The Oliver Queen from Smallville.
I really wanted to say your mom there. No, they didn't.
Do you know who he was?
I don't think I got to that point.
He was the brother in This Is Us. The actor.
Which brother?
The actor brother.
Not Randall, but the other one.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah. That was their Oliver Queen.
I honestly can see the resemblance to the comics.
You want to know something else? He was supposed to be Aquaman in a TV show too.
He's not big enough for it. He's not muscular enough.
I don't think Aquaman was that muscular though in the comic books.
Fair. I guess I've only seen him once, which is Jason Momoa, who's very muscular.
Yeah.
Except in that one ad.
Oh, yeah, where he gets out of the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off topic, but go ahead.
All right. So, out of 5, what would you give the movie?
2.
2? Ooh.
Maybe 3.
I would probably stay 3.5 to 4, somewhere in there.
Somewhere between 2 and 3. Because one is movies I don't like.
Yeah. I liked the movie. I was disappointed because it didn't live up to the hype. Of the movies I've seen this year, it's probably the 3rd best behind Guardians and Across the Spider-Verse.
It would probably be better if there wasn't as much of a hype, because I had bigger expectations for it. So going in, if I thought less of it, I would have thought more coming out.
Yeah, I totally get that. That was the reason why I bumped it down too, because from what people were saying, this was supposed to be the greatest comic book movie, and it was good, but it wasn't Logan.
I guess it just falls in line with the rest of the decent movies right now.
Yeah, because Man of Steel, Wonder Woman are probably the two top ones. I like Shazam a lot.
Honestly, I envy whoever likes them because I wish I could. Because, I mean, it would be so cool being able to watch these and, like, actually kind of, like them.
Yeah. But, hey, we have the Batman and the Nolan trilogy, so...
That is true.
We can go back to those all we want.
We can watch the Joker spray paint stuff.
Yeah. All right. You have anything else you want to talk about?
Very off topic. Your glass has Danhausen. I don't know his name. He's like, his eyes are like pointed directly at me. It's been creeping me out, but like I'm trying to stay on task and not talk about it because I'm not good at that.
It's my all ego Ethan Page glass.
Oh, so it's Ethan Page.
Yeah. He's the toy hunter.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I guess that is kind of relevant because, you know, he finds like Batman toys and stuff.
Yeah, he's big in the Batman toys. Except he announced last week he's not doing the toy hunts as much as he was. Like he did them, he would post one every Sunday, and now he's like taking a step back.
He's got to save that money.
Well, he's probably still spending the money, but he's trying to spend more time with family and focus on his wrestling.
He can bring his kids with him.
He has before. He's brought his daughter.
That's probably something kids would enjoy, going on a toy hunt.
Yeah, well, they don't travel with him across the country.
And now you got me thinking about the wrestlers who collect shoes.
The Young Bucks?
Yep.
This
is why I try not to talk about things that are off topic.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. That's kind of what we do. We bounce everywhere.
Oh, I would be really good at this then.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to get you to do this for a while, so...
I know you have, but you gotta, like... actually make me do it because you say that we're going to do it and then you never follow through and then I kind of just like forget about it.
All right.
But like tonight you've actually like had me come and do it with you.
Yeah. This is my thing. We'll get your own setup.
Wow. You can't share? I thought we were supposed to share.
I'll share the feed, but you'll have your own title and episodes.
Oh, okay.
So, and then you'll do all the editing and stuff because I don't want to do all of that.
I'm not very good at editing.
It's all right. Well, I'll teach you how to do it.
Okay, we'll see.
You're technical. You can figure it out. You are technical. You're good with technology.
I know I am.
You just don't want to admit it. You just want me to do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
All right. That's it. I'll have you back some point.
Okay.
All right. You gonna say bye?
See you later.
Bye.
Wait, got something even better.
Oh, go for it.
Good morning. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Thanks, Truman.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye. Thanks for listening. You can find us on our website, Nyrdcast.com. It's Nyrdcast. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching @Nyrdcast. The intro music is The Other Side by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, a Mad Dog remix made by Madelyn Tierney. This week's featured song is Machine by Palomino Blonde.